Good evening. I am Mariam Abdulkawi, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News tonight. We'll talk to the Minister of Agriculture, Rodwell Ferguson, about his priorities in his new post. And he rented a vehicle to a shady customer and found it being scrapped 2 days later. We'll have both sides of the car rental racket, plus sugar and cream, tacos and Coke, chicken and fries. John Briseño and Jose Mai went together perfectly. So, what changed on Tuesday? We'll have a look at their history. Also, we'll take you to a honey expo in the north and show you discount carrier Spirit Airlines' first flight to Belize. These stories and much more are ahead on 7 News tonight, so please stay tuned.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
These charter means aren't
We're navigating along the coast.
This morning, the 2023 in the...
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Shirley Kelso,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm a bureaucrat.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
One of the reasons I applied for a credit card at Atlantic Bank was because I travel a lot. I'm always going here and there and everywhere, and having that card made my life so much easier. I could literally charge everything. I had no issues. I don't have to worry about carrying money. And that has been one of the most effective points. Using my Atlantic Bank credit card has improved my life drastically. I learned to budget properly, the online service that it gives, the features that it has, and also knowing that when I'm shopping online, it has a protective feature for it. Having an Atlantic Bank credit card, especially having two sons that are always wanting something. They want to shop here and they want to shop there. The good part about it is I get to look at Atlantic online to see where my spending is and to make sure I'm staying in budget.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Driving around, particularly during this holiday season, can be quite an experience. Families are out shopping and the streets are buzzing with excitement. It reminds me that this season is all about connections, and it starts with how we treat each other, even on the road. When I'm behind the wheel, I always remind myself that being on the road is more than just following the rules. It's about looking out for each other and making sure we all get home safely to our families. This season, let's continue to be alert and be kind on the road. Be courteous, give way, and stay safe. A message from BEL.
We will continue to advocate for those who need access to higher education, to basic services in health, to housing, to land, to jobs.
Loan jokes. Where was the advocacy when you were in power, Tracy? Higher education? It is the PUP that brought free education to 23 high schools countrywide. Basic health services? It is the PUP that is taking NHI countrywide and is building 2 new hospitals. Jobs? It is the PUP that is providing thousands of new jobs, training and supporting entrepreneurs, and empowering women. Housing? It is the PUP that is providing houses to deserving Belizeans. The UDP didn't build one in 13 years. And land? It is the PUP that has provided land to first-time land owners, public officers, teachers, all across this country. Where was your voice when you had power and the people needed you? It's too late for you and the UDP.
roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Belize's natural wonders draw visitors from around the globe, but protecting them requires more than admiration.
Tourism is one of the primary economic drivers for Belize. It contributes approximately 55% to our GDP, with 60% of that tourism being marine. We're now looking at a sustainable approach to blue economic development, and that means that we have to support areas such as ecotourism.
Whenever we go on a tour, we stress on being eco-friendly. It makes a big difference. That's why we wanted to set the example. There's no need to touch. Most people want to touch the shark. No, all right? They want to touch the coral or stand on the coral. Because if all of us change to eco-friendly, you will see the big difference.
Ecotourism helps to balance conservation and development by promoting sustainable tourism practices. It allows visitors to experience Belize's natural wonders while ensuring that tourism directly supports environmental protection and local livelihoods. Protecting our natural resources means investing in sustainable tourism infrastructure. Ecotourism allows Belize to grow while minimizing its impact on fragile ecosystems. Through smart financial planning, ecotourism revenue helps maintain marine protected areas, support local communities, and secure Belize's future as a world-class sustainable travel destination. Ecotourism is the future of Belize. By traveling responsibly, we ensure that both nature and the economy thrive together. Belize is setting the global standard for ecotourism. Be a part of it. Travel with purpose.
This Christmas, get into the joy with Uno. Imagine winning a shiny motorcycle, a brand new TV, a brand new fan, or grocery coupons to make your holiday shopping easier. The surprises keep coming. All you have to do is visit Uno, and for every $25 on fuel, you'll get a coupon. Fill out and participate. Get one coupon for each quart of Uno lubricants or 2 for a gallon. Visit your nearest Uno gas station today. Fill your tank and drive into Christmas cheer with Uno. Uno gas stations.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
We begin our newscast with one of our top stories. If the recent upheaval in the Briceño cabinet had a winner, we'd wager that it would be Rodwell Ferguson, the minister from Santa Creek West. 8 months ago, the party's deputy leader for the South took a big hit when he was stripped of any functional portfolio and relegated to be Minister of State in the Prime Minister's office. It's a do-nothing job with a good letterhead, and the PM dubbed him a problem solver, even when it seemed Ferguson was the problem. Well, Rodwell Ferguson is back in the cabinet high life. He's Minister of Agriculture, Food Security, and New Growth Industries. And today, in a Orange Walk, he told us what he'd started his transition.
Well, I started my transition and met the staff yesterday. Very interesting staff. They are mostly technical people. And I believe together we can put the synergy together to make we enhance the Ministry of Agriculture. And I want to give Minister Mai kudos. I have a tall order to fill, but I'll do my best to work with the staff to improve agriculture and benefit the farmers of this country. Originally, sugar and citrus was the mainstay of the country. Then afterwards, banana came in, then shrimps. And all of them are having their own difficulties. So the minister now, I will sit down with them carefully and figure out how we can chart a way forward. Sugar is not directly under the Ministry of Agriculture, but it's still agriculture. So I'll have to work with them. And the problem is to try to combat the disease that they have and figure out how we can find new markets to improve the quality and what the shape of the country. I am not afraid of challenges. In my previous life, I worked in the citrus industry for many years and as an accountant. So I am not afraid. Any challenge you give me, I'll perform to the best of my ability.
But the best of his ability has not been stellar in the first 5 years of governance. Ferguson left a trail of mismanagement in the ministries he's been in charge of from 2020 to 2025. So, what are the guardrails that the Prime Minister Briceño, has put up around him this time? We've heard such do exist, but he told us not so.
Will you be in charge of supplies and control permits?
Yes, likewise.
And what cautions has the PM given you for the management of this ministry?
Well, the PM told me that, well, just go and do your best and make sure that you walk in a straight line to make sure you deliver the goods and the services. And I promise him I'll do my best in the ministry to enhance it and improve it.
Is it true that the Prime Minister told you cannot employ your son and nephew at the ministry?
That's not true.
And Jose Mai has a Prado as a ministerial ride. Will you get that?
No, ma'am. I don't need no Prado.
And when we met him today, he was in a Ridge Walk at a Ministry of Agriculture event. We saw him talking to many of the farmers, but as it is across the country, a large portion of the agriculture sector comprises Spanish speakers. He admitted that even in his constituency of over 10,000 voters, not knowing Spanish is a challenge.
That by itself is a detriment. And unfortunately, I never get to learn the Spanish language. I need to figure out how you can practice because across the country, Spanish is spoken almost as much as English. So they travel around, especially in my own constituency, that's a detriment. But I get along.
And going back now to the wider view of cabinet, they must now all labor under the narrative offered by Prime Minister John Briceño that Jose Mai left cabinet because of a bad back. It's made the cabinet a national laughingstock, and to Jules Vasquez, the burden of that fiction alone seems like enough to give anyone a bad back. Here's his analysis of the changing relationship between Jose Mai and John Briceño.
Jose Mai has always been by John Briceño's side from way before that day back in September 2017 when those two alone started a shutdown of the Tower Hill Bridge and stood shoulder to shoulder, actually wrapped arm in arm to battle the police and the tear gas. To March of 2020 when Mai stood directly behind the then leader of the opposition, Briceño, when they walked out on the budget presentation, the deputy leader for the North always had Briceño's back. And in February of this year, when Briceño called the election, there he was, Mai looking slightly more spiffy and svelte, but always right behind Briceño. Except on Tuesday of this week, when Briceño didn't have his favorite wingman. Mai was missing, as he was out of cabinet and out of commission, supposedly with a bad back.
Minister Mai has a farm, and one time he came to cabinet and saying that he was riding his horse and he fell off. It was over a year ago, and many of us bantering about it, teasing him, not realizing that he was seriously hurt. both his lower back and his shoulder. And I know he was telling us that he will have to be having surgery, probably going to Guatemala for surgery. So he felt it was best to take a leave of absence whilst he take that operation and go through the recovery process.
It's the mistruth that spawned 1,000 memes. The Prime Minister widely mocked for mouthing such an obvious and transparent falsehood. But how to describe the faces of those ministers behind him when the PM mouthed the big fib? Part grimace, part grin, forced smiles stretched thin by the burden of knowing they'll have to carry that falsehood into the public sphere. Alas, maybe too much a burden. Yesterday, both Karim Musa and Oscar Mira would not repeat the Prime Minister's bold and bald mistruth.
I wouldn't be able to comment on that.
You're a member of cabinet.
I have, and I've personally tried to reach out to Minister Mai, but I haven't gotten a response as yet from him.
Do you believe that, in fact, Minister Mai has a bad back, and that is the reason why he is moving away from his duties at the Ministry of Agriculture?
Well,
You're a cabinet member, sir. You would have been in cabinet with him.
I am in cabinet. He is a friend of mine. Yes, he had an accident, but I leave it as that. You know, all of us decide and know how we feel. You know, there's sometimes that we need to take a break. I can't speak for him. He needs to speak for himself.
Indeed, a far ways off from the defiance of 2020. No more supportive nods, no firm brow of collected conviction. In 2025, we see tepid smiles and the knowing, tight-lipped looks of those who sense it only goes downhill from here.
And while some may be stressed about carrying that story, the Prime Minister Shirley doesn't seem to be. He left the country today on personal leave until next Wednesday. And we take a break now, but when we come back, we'll tell you about a senior counsel who's been found guilty of professional misconduct and suspended. And we'll talk to both sides of a car rental racket story. Stay tuned.
Want all the postpaid perks without the commitment? Now you can with Smart Supercharged prepaid plans. All the talk, text, and data you need. No contracts, no hassle. Pay upfront for your package and enjoy total freedom. No commitments. Just simple, flexible plans that fit your life. Pick your power, Core, Edge, or Prime. Prepaid plans, ready when you ready. Commit to no commitments and get yours today. Dial 7526 or star 100 pound key, use the Smart app, or visit a Gimme Dollar agent to purchase today. Smart, bringing people together.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
What made me want to start my journey in terms of owning a home was basically me having my own space, my own domain, and having something extremely special for my family. That feeling was indescribable. It was amazing, you know, moving in the first time, seeing all the new furniture, the new paint, the new accessories. I was amazed. Home for the holidays means to me bonding with my family, having an amazing time in the Christmas spirit. I would highly recommend Atlantic Bank's personal loans for home renovations because of what it did for me. I fixed my kitchen, I fixed my storage, I fixed my master bedroom, my showers, you name it, I fixed it.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
We continue to celebrate diversity and embrace our vibrant cultural heritage. Happy Garifuna Settlement Day from BEL. Gundala Hafedo Garina Guhamage Belize Electricity Limited.
Are you still circling around the city, searching high and low for a parking spot? Stop wasting time, energy, and, most importantly, costly fuel. Bring your ride to the Downtown Plaza parking lot and park your baby in a safe, dedicated space. No need to risk parking on the streets where your baby can be scratched, dented, or bumped. Downtown Plaza parking lot offers safe, easy, and convenient parking right in the heart of the city. Just head to Albert Street, make a right turn on Bishop Street, and you are there in a secure, worry-free environment. Imagine the peace of mind knowing your car is in a safe spot while you enjoy your day. So, don't delay. Park with confidence at the Downtown Plaza parking lot where convenience meets safety and peace of mind is guaranteed.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corzal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Un grupo de gente que hemos trabajado muy duro y la tierra es para la gente de Bellavista. ¿Para qué? Para que los jóvenes puedan tener tierra. ¿Para qué? Para que los jóvenes puedan desarrollarse en el futuro. Algo que les hacía falta por mucho tiempo. Nuestros padres vienen de las fincas bananeras. Somos gentes que hemos sufrido mucho y ustedes como jóvenes se merecen mejores oportunidades.
If you didn't have land before, you will have land now. Once you have land, you have wealth.
I think they want to build, they want to settle.
I'm already having dreams of my home and everything.
You know, the wires are just, I'm really excited. I'm really happy. I can finally begin to build a house.
It's just a great feeling, you know.
Mi amigo es un hermano, una persona para el pobre. ¿Estamos de acuerdo?
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
And returning now, we have a story about legal news. He's a senior counsel, both in age and years of practice. But tonight, Hubert Elrington has been suspended. The General Legal Counsel has found the 77-year-old guilty of grave professional misconduct. This arises from a complaint made by a client where senior counsel Elrington took $6,000 from a client, Orfa Martinez, to institute a claim for her against Scotiabank Belize. But he neglected to institute the claim, that is, for many years. And he also failed to keep her updated. To compound matters, senior counsel Elrington gave an undertaking to the council to repay the money in settlement of the complaint and failed to do so. As a consequence, the GLC has found him guilty of grave professional misconduct and has ordered him to pay back Martinez the total sum of $6,000. He will also be suspended from the practice of law for 6 months and for longer if he doesn't pay back all the money. The notice of his suspension has been sent to all courts. Meanwhile, he's a former UDP senator turned PUP campaigner and most recently the principal of Corazon Creek High School. But tonight, 39-year-old Macario Coy is accused of the sexual assault of a 36-year-old teacher. She reported to police that she was sexually assaulted by Macario Coy on Tuesday, November 4th. Coy was wanted for a number of days, but today voluntarily surrendered himself at the Punta Gorda police formation, accompanied by his attorney. He was later formally arrested and charged with sexual assault, and he appeared in court where he was granted bail of $3,000. His next court appearance is scheduled for January 20th of 2026. And in less than 24 hours after 22-year-old Renan Carrillo rented a Chevy Equinox to a customer, he realized something was wrong. When he tried to contact the renter, he was lied to and ignored. And by the time he found his vehicle, it was just in time, since it seems that the renter, Mark Antonio Rosales, had big plans that didn't include returning it. It's a situation that left Carrillo out of a couple $1,000s in repairs and Rosales on the run. He spoke to both of them on the phone, and Courtney Menzies has this story.
This is how 22-year-old Renan Carrillo's Chevy Equinox looked when he rented it to Mark Antonio Rosales on Sunday. And this is how he found it on Tuesday, with the paint half sandpapered off and the panels missing, likely ready to be repainted and sold off or repurposed. Carrillo explained that the red flags were raised after he saw allegations made against Rosales.
I rented my vehicle to Rosales on Sunday, 6:30 to be exact. And then Monday, around midday, I received a call from one of my clients, right? They had a whole post about Rosales, the scam people, and I see my vehicle come up as well. So I managed to call Rosales and inform him that the contract is over, right? Because he pretty much used my vehicle for illegal stuff, for the scam people. And now he told me him that I Belize and he may are reaching out all the time. And I said, sure, right, no problem. And I started ringing up the phone and realized that this fella don't answer my phone anymore after 6:30. So I got at his address, his so-called address, and the same time I reach, Mr. Moser reach as well. And we start talk. And that when we realized that both of we vehicles missing from the same person. Yeah, he know I returned it.
And this home visit came after multiple texts and calls where Rosales promised he was on his way to deliver the vehicle, and with Carrillo losing patience and threatening to file a police report. Eventually, he found his vehicle with $2,000 worth of damage.
When I find the vehicle, I realized like how sandpapered up. You know, it looked like them have painted a whole different color. But let's say me have be black again. So make no sense make them sandpaper it anything already black. The condition me meant. All of the insides me done taking out like the interior, the door panels and so forth. And to me, it looked like them have put something in it. I don't want to say drugs or money, I'm not really sure, but something like going in it. I'm actually shocked because Rosales been renting with me from September. We had a good relationship, right? He used to rent it for days. He used to pay fees, bring it back in a good condition and so forth. So I may consider he one of my good clients, one of my top clients. We have had no issues. And to find out that he do this to me and other rentals, man, unbelievable, to be honest.
But Rosales denied any claim that he was attempting to steal or scam anybody. Yesterday, he told us over the phone that he was in fear of his life because of the accusations made against him.
I went to do a job for him. You understand? Now things never gone the way he wanted, and we gone through an altercation over the phone. And now he's stating that I got his vehicle and blah blah blah. We know exactly what it was. So making come put lies over the news and say because this, that, and that. Because yes, I have my pass, but me don't have nothing to do with a stolen vehicle or I rent my vehicle for sale.
What are you doing right now?
I just like how everybody says on the run hiding.
So, what is your greatest concern right now?
Well, my concern is I want to handle myself, but I know Mr. Lou, Mr. Mosa threatened me. Once they catch me, I'm a dead man. And you know police for Orange Rock has a bad reputation.
It sounds like you're a crook. It sounds like that. It sounds like you're there in a lot of things. You got cars for people, and it sounds like you're there into crooked business. I'll be honest with you. What's your response? What's your explanation for the state you're in?
Well, like I said, right, I get caught up in some misunderstanding, and the people wanted to kill me, so I tried to help myself, but I make mistakes like any other once in my life, right, and I went back to it again and made the same mistake over again.
Were you in a joint enterprise with any of these persons to smuggle drugs or to do anything like that?
Not really in drugs, but other business besides drugs.
Oh, so other illegal stuff?
Yes.
But for Carrillo, he just wants Rosales to turn himself in.
Well, the only option he got right now is to turn himself in, right? Because pretty much it's on the run. He can't run for so long, so might as well turn himself in. And he done do what he done do pretty much. He can't reverse anything back. Might as well just give himself in at this point.
Courtney Menzies, 7 News.
Rosales told us he would turn himself into Corozal Police yesterday, but up to tonight, he remains at large. We could not reach him by phone today either. Meanwhile, a father is currently serving 3 years probation after he was convicted of leaving his 2-year-old son home alone. The incident occurred in July 2023 when Michael Kowo began drinking at home. He left to continue drinking at a nearby store and was followed by his common-law wife. An altercation erupted, after which he chased her from the home and told her to leave the toddler inside. The child was found at 4 the next morning, abandoned in the middle of the street. In court, Kowo pleaded guilty to the charge, and while the cruelty to a child charge has a minimum mandatory sentence of 15 years, Justice Nigel Pilgrim decided to depart from an imposed prison term and instead invited him to a probation order. Kowo will be under supervision by a community rehabilitation officer and must sign in at the social service office. Also, he must abstain from alcohol and go to counseling. If he fails to comply or commits another offense, he will be sentenced to prison for a minimum of 15 years. And in other news, the president of the Court of Appeal, Madam Justice Minette Hafiz Bertram, on Thursday denied former State Bank Port Coral developer Michael Feinstein leave to appeal a decision of High Court Justice Rajiv Gunatelli. The lower court judge had denied Feinstein's application to amend his defense in the fraud claim brought against him by Atlantic Bank. This is in respect of the title for the 23.4-acre extension of State Bank Island, which is Feinstein's name rather than in the name of the State Bank Enterprise Limited, now under receivership. Senior counsel Eamon Courtney is representing Atlantic Bank. Here's more.
They applied for leave. They don't have an appeal as of right. They applied for leave to appeal that decision. Madam Justice Hafiz today said, your application is dismissed. you have no leave to appeal. They, of course, signal that they are going to now ask the court, the full court, to review it. It's all a matter of delay. It's playing tactics, and that became very clear in my respectful submission to the court today.
And while this is ongoing, the asset is wasting. Every day the island erodes a little more into the sea, etc. Is it a concern of your client that while this legal jousting continues, they're seeing a wasting asset?
It's certainly a concern, I believe, to all parties. And I believe it is regrettable that the legal fight is continuing whilst the asset is wasting, whilst the opportunity to develop that island and to have it act as some sort of cruise facility is being delayed, something which everyone recognizes is vital for the development of the tourism sector.
Feinstein was represented by Richard Salter, and the receiver was represented by Dean Barrow. And we take a break now, but when we come back, we went in search of Belize's finest honey in Orange Walk today. You'll see what we found. And discount carrier Spirit Airlines makes its inaugural flight to Belize. These stories and much more when we return. Stay tuned.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
These charter means aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Sherry Halsell,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craft.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Hey, 06 para mañana.
89-23.
16. Ya gané con el 10, con el 50 y con el 03.
Bolido ahora es más fácil. Ahora puedes jugar tu número de la suerte con Digi Wallet. Regístrate y deposita para comenzar. Descarga la aplicación de Bolido y elige Digi Wallet como tu método de pago y cobro.
¡Ya gané!
Cuando enviamos dinero.
Con Bolido gané.
Cuando hacemos recargas.
Drop it like it's hot.
The journey towards owning a home was a family decision as we needed stability and security. And it was a financial investment that we would have for our family's legacy. Getting a home loan from Atlantic Bank was very easy. The officers there were able to walk you through the process and you were able to ask questions. Moving into our home for the first time was a blessed and happy experience. I remember turning the key for the first time, and the family was so excited to see our new home where we'll be making new memories in.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
We continue to celebrate diversity and embrace our vibrant cultural heritage. Happy Garifuna Settlement Day from BEL. Gundala Hafedo Garina Guhamaye Belize Electricity Limited.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
We continue our newscast with one of our top stories. The apiculture or beekeeping industry in Belize is on the road to revival. Harvesting honey for a living is no easy trade, but the Ministry of Agriculture is optimistic that it will catch on eventually by appealing to younger generations through educational expos like the one that happened today in Orange Walk. Our very own Jo Marie Lanza was at the event, and here's her report.
Bees, beekeepers, NGOs, and students swarmed Muffles College Auditorium in Orange Walk today for the second annual International Beekeeping Symposium and Expo. Every corner you looked, there was honey, beeswax, soaps, and a surplus of data on the apiculture industry. Belize's national coordinator for honey and beekeeping says it's the networking highlight of the season for those within the sector.
What we are doing for this International Beekeeping Symposium is that we are gathering beekeepers across the country and bringing experts from across our neighboring countries, Mexico, Guatemala. We also have experts from Honduras. What we are doing is that we are trying to sensitize and bring awareness of what are the priorities that we are doing for the ministry. We understand that honey is a sector that is growing slowly, but it is growing and can become one of the sectors that can benefit not only economically, but it is one that is very environmental friendly. And I believe that this event or this sector is one of the sectors that we can work and expand nationally. We have a great potential in expanding the beekeeping sector, and that is one of the purposes that what we want as an objective for our ministry.
There were more than 25 booths at the event, and each presented a topic on beekeeping to educate the public on the art and science behind the craft.
What we are trying to do is sensitize and inform the public of what is apiculture or beekeeping. For what we have done and how we have organized the booths is that each specific booth have one specific topic to speak about. For example, one of them is what is apiculture. So when you approach that booth, that is what they will explain all the way to the end, from the product that is in the colony up to the end that it is on the market. So everyone that comes to this booth today, they will have an idea from A to Z in what is beekeeping.
And for some families, like the Esquivels from Corozal, their beekeeping dates back to decades of an established family trade. The Esquivels have significantly grown their business over the years, so much so that it has taken them all the way to Taiwan for a trade expo.
Today at the symposium, we are offering the information about what is apiculture. Basically, apiculture is everything that deals with bees. How to maintain a bee colony, hive, to harvest honey, wax, all the products the bees give you. That's basically the point of apiculture.
Recently, your business went to represent Belize in Taiwan. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, I was there in Taiwan a couple of weeks ago. I went there with Beltrade to showcase my product. I got to get some good friends, got a new market area, environment. And well, I hopefully this year that is coming, we can go back and start to get the proper equipment to ship our products to Taiwan.
And further out west in San Jose Socots, Shaw's Natural Honey has been producing the sweet stuff for the past 8 years. They possess a wealth of knowledge on queen rearing and how the hive itself operates.
Well, basically our honey is from different flowering. In the west, we have corn, we have from the mango, we have from different fruit trees. So basically, the honey that we have here is original, only from the flowers. This is just a display of the bees that we work with every day. And this is the topic that we should present today about queen rearing. We have the nicot process. I have the nicot over there that we do. And basically, we have the one that we call swarming tool. Basically, when The bees are very populated and there's no more space. So basically the queen will swarm. So basically we get a new colors and we take advantage of the process.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
Approximately 296 bee species are estimated to be present in Belize. And now returning to one of our top stories, the Belize Tourism Board welcomed its discount carrier, Spirit Airlines, to Belize today. The inaugural flight from Fort Lauderdale International Airport arrived to drumming and dancing and free cocktails. While Spirit Airlines has been making headlines for the financial pressures blighting its future, the expansion to Belize is seen as an encouraging sign locally, that is. Here are the highlights from that inaugural event.
Well, we are delighted to welcome Spirit Airlines to Belize. I wanted to congratulate the government of Belize, specifically Minister Mahler and the Belize Tourism Board on this achievement. We're delighted to have more connections between the United States and Belize. I understand this airline in particular will be offering nonstop service to Fort Lauderdale 3 times a week. And we're just very excited to bring more Belizeans to the United States for tourism and shopping and more Americans to Belize to enjoy this beautiful country. We're also really just dedicated to growing and deepening the partnerships between Belizean and Americans alike. So we're just excited to be here today.
Well, I've said this from day one, that airlift into Belize is the lifeblood of the tourism industry, akin to hotel development. And the more capacity we add in terms of our air routes into the country, the more people will come in. Our job now is to ensure that we work closely with Spirit Airlines to ensure that these flights are filled. So this is our 23rd city, which is important for us, adding a diversity in the product offering, as well as the people coming into Belize. But these things oftentimes take a long time. Sometimes they take shorter time, but you have to continue knocking on doors. You have to continue the dialogue, continue to show your business case why Belize as a leisure destination would be an important fit for an airline like Spirit. Spirit Airline is considered an ultra low cost carrier, so what it does for us is keep the legacy carriers honest in terms of pricing, and so it makes it more affordable for people to come to Belize.
The flight is scheduled to operate 3 times a week and is operated by an Airbus A320 aircraft. Meanwhile, yesterday we took you to the National Assembly, where the House of Representatives were debating a $69 million loan motion to rehabilitate the George Price Highway from Belize City to Huttyville. The opposition criticized the cost of the motion and the cost per mile, which is $4.6 million per mile on an existing highway. Minister of Infrastructure Development Julius Espat explained that stretch of road, which is the most highly trafficked highway, is in desperate need of upgrading, especially the Burnham Bridge area. And while $69 million seems excessive for 15 miles of road, Espat explained all the work that will need to go into the rehabilitation.
These areas have a significant depth of peat. What is peat? Peat is mud, organic material that rots with centuries, more than that sometimes. The engineers from OECC have tried to use 2 or 3 different methods to be able to try to see if that peat can resist the road that is being built there. They have not been successful in that 400 meters. So our engineers from MIDH, along with the engineers from OECC, along with other foreign independent engineers, have come up with a proposal for that 400 meters that we might have to pilot and cast it as if it was a causeway, because there is no other option. We are aware of the fact. This is engineering. You encounter these things as you go along, but it is part of the defects liability. It is part, and that's why I mentioned the design build project. It is a project that was approved by the United Democratic Party on the basis of a design build concept. The contractor that won the bid designed it, supervised it, and is building it with MIDH's general supervision. So I'm giving you a clear and a concise explanation to what you're saying. And what you have said is wrong. City floods when you have a major rain. Yeah, it floods. But can you answer this question? How fast does it take for the floodwaters to recede compared to how fast it used to recede in the past? You know, analyze that. Yes, you're going to flood because Belize City, if you don't know, remember from Mesopotamia, is below water level, sea level. It is a fact. Belize City is not on a mountainous area. It is not inland. It is below sea level, and therefore we do have that problem that we have to address. So what this specific project is one of the possible solutions to minimize. I'm not saying completely stop it. It will never completely stop. But you try to minimize it. How will we minimize it? We are trying to minimize it by draining that section of the highway that you can alleviate the water coming down the Burton Canal. Before it reaches the city, we'll have a way to escape out to the sea, approximately in the area by Old Belize. That will entail, we now call it bridges, but it is a series of box culverts, a series of drainage to be able to drain that water from the Burton Canal all the way to the sea.
We note that repairing the other 35 miles in 2 sections will reportedly cost $90 million, but those loan motions have yet to be tabled. And in total, reports say it will be $159 million to upgrade 50 miles of existing road with bridges, that is. And over the past 4 years, Taiwan's ICDF's Women's Economic Empowerment Initiative in Belize has produced 43 batches of vocational training. That's 360 new startups benefiting over 2,000 participants. The project has now concluded its journey with a closing ceremony yesterday, which featured 45 women entrepreneurs who showcased their businesses, skills, and products they brought to life with assistance of the program. Here are the highlights of that event.
This joint initiative of Taiwan and Belize was launched in the aftermath of COVID-19 pandemic, aiming to supporting women to participate in economic activities for post-pandemic recovery. Over the past 4 years, under this project, numerous programs have been carried out all over the nation, from Benque Bejo to San Pedro, from Corozal to Punta Gorda. I and many of our partners, the teams, we travel all over the nation. And through working with many like-minded partners, including various ministries, government agencies, NGOs, business sectors, academia, and international partners, this project has helped CEO update the number. More than 2,700 women gain vocational skills and build capacity of entrepreneurship in widespread areas across green, blue, and orange economy.
The tangible outcomes of the project have numbered 43 batches of vocational skills, training 1,117 women. Additionally, creating 360 new startups, some of which have gained international recognition. But importantly, the highlighting peace-building project at the Organization of American States at the OAS through the Border Women Economic Empowerment and Peace Culture Project is an exemplary example of international cooperation. And I personally feel very proud of that project. When we visited at the House of Tamai, it was clear that the young people in that area who needed so much help were able to get this help, this assistance, this support through the project. In fact, some of them had already earned jobs even before completing the project.
There is no doubt in my mind that these platforms made me visible. That visibility opened the doors for me to serve on the Executive Council of the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And then came November 2024, when I had the incredible honor of representing BCCI at a Digital Transformation Strategies workshop in Taiwan. That experience was one of the most impactful learning opportunities of my life. I witnessed firsthand the importance of technology for small businesses. I came home with a deeper understanding that digital transformation requires unity. That means government, financial institution, private sectors, MSME, and community leaders all working hand in hand. Taiwan taught me what true collaboration, discipline, and national vision looks like.
And that's all we have for you on 7 News on this Friday night. Thank you so much for watching. I am Miriam Abdul-Kawi. You can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook page. Have a good night and a great weekend, and join Indira Craig back here on Monday night. Have a good night, folks.